So today is going to be another video in my gaming test of these budget Android tablets. And today I'm going to be doing it on the Teclast T60 tablet, which runs a Unisoc T616 processor, a very entry-level chip. And I'm just going to see how the tablet copes with Need for Speed No Limits, and then a little bit more of a graphic intense game in Asphalt 9. Of course, they're not the most intense games in general, not Call of Duty or Genshin Impact or anything like that. I'm just going to see how they cope with those two little games and just see how they perform overall. Let's get into it. Okay, so here is the T60 tablet. I'm just going to open up Need for Speed No Limits, and we'll just see how quickly it takes to open, and then we'll just run a session or two just to see how the tablet copes running this game. Now, No Limits is more of a easier going game I found on phones and tablets. It doesn't seem to be the most graphic intense. That's why I've picked Asphalt 9 as an option as well. It's just booting up. So let's see how we do. There will be some areas where I will have to skip a few things, so just bear that in mind. So running the Unisoc T616 processor, these are some chips that seem to be getting more and more common in sort of entry-level phones and tablets. I think the 616 I used in the Motorola G14 from memory. And my use with that was absolutely fine. So that was obviously a pretty quick session there. I'll see if I can run another one. I'll come back when all this jipper is done. So here we are back again. Just had to go through a load of stuff that I just had to skip. So far the tablet seems to be doing pretty well. Not me, I'm not really very good at this game. It seems to be doing quite well. The tablet comes with 8 gigs of RAM as well, which seems to be a little bit more than what you find on other tablets at this sort of price point, which is quite nice. And yeah, the T616 seems to be coping pretty well. So yeah, not too bad with that one. Close that off, and then if we open up Asphalt 9 and see how we fare with this one. So if you've seen my on a pad 8 and on a pad 9 gaming tests, you'll see how well they coped. Link for those is in the description if you want to check those out as well. There are a couple of other sort of entry-level tablets that offer some similar specs to this T60, not T616. Bear with while I just put all this info in. Okay, so we're just loading up. Hopefully what I've done is enough. A few fingerprints on here. It does come with a pre-applied screen protector, which seems to be attracting some fingerprints. Let's turn that down just a smidge. So I have found that Asphalt 9 is a little bit more of a graphic intense game than what Need for Speed No Limits. So let's have a go with this one. And as you can see, it is This is a kind of a tutorial, which is a bit frustrating. But we'll go through onto a proper game in a second. But as you can see, even with this tutorial, you can see that everything is moving just a little bit quicker than what Need for Speed No Limits is. And just the overall graphics of Asphalt 9 seems to be a little bit more than Need for Speed. Maybe this was a bad thing to do, is to go through this tutorial bit. We'll try and do another one in a second. Or does it let me do it now? Basically flying across the finish line. So of course we'll do another one, because that was a bit of a slow process with having to go through the tutorial bit. So if I just go home, jump into settings, game settings, sound and display, and then bump the frame rate up to 60. So I finally navigated my way through. Didn't really know what I was doing. So hopefully this will be a bit more of a good example of how the tablet's gonna cope. Finish in position 3 or better. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. So it's at the 60 frame rate. So we'll just see how, oh, I didn't mean to do that too early. We'll just see how I hate it when it does that. So yeah, like I said, the T616 processor is a pretty decent one, to be fair. It seems to be handling this pretty well, even at that higher graphic setting, or frame rate should I say. There's always a lot going on Asphalt 9, I find, and it seems to be handling it pretty well. So yeah, I think that's handled it pretty well. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and check out my HonorPad 8 and HonorPad 9 little gaming tests on those to see how they coped. But overall, for a little bit of light gaming, this is absolutely fine, and it's got a really nice build quality to it. But I will be dropping a full review on this tablet in the next couple of weeks, so subscribe if you want to see that, and I'll see you there.